Real quick, guys. December 5th to January 5th, console beta sign up on Omega City website. Sorry, on Omega website. December 7th to December 14th, get Predecessor for free on Epic Games permanently. Um, have a good Christmas. Hope you guys enjoy the guide. Hey everybody, Obey the Papaya here. A big patch. Let's get right to it. I hope you guys are having a good day. So let's take a look. We're gonna start off just showing what I would consider just the overall simple stuff, the in-game things, right? So this is just the nerf and buffs for this patch. Not much overall character things. Wraith gets some basic attack damage. He's gonna get some damage increase. Fang Mao's getting his shield increased. Twin Blast I think is getting a bug fixed. So I put him kind of in the middle. Crunch is getting some healing changes, getting E-bug or that extended the length for the E that got removed. Chimera got getting believe lower cooldown, or sorry, increased cooldown on his leap, and I think some healing changes. And Narbash getting his ultimate not procking actives on press. Um, then here's the items. Items are going to be really weird because I didn't necessarily do all the items because a lot of items got changes to the new items. So some of the new items that were implemented are built into these endgame items. To simplify it, um, Spell Slasher, Augmentation, Oathkeeper, anything that basically has Spell Slasher will now do damage to towers. It's just a much better item. This is going to be crazy for split pushing. We'll see what happens when Wukong comes out. That's a different story. This is just the overall item. It's a big item patch. I'm not going to necessarily go through it, but this is what we're looking at. And we got to, I mean, there's a lot more overall in items. We'll discuss that further on in the video. All right, now onto the main patch, the entire thing. So the introduction, I already posted in my news video of basically what they were adding in. So I'm not necessarily going to go through the introduction completely. Um, but here we start off with Iggy and Scorch. I am going to focus on things that are in game first, so things that are actually going to affect you first. So we're getting Iggy and Scorch. He's coming in. Looks like a super interesting character. Um, well, not pun intended. I don't think he's that interesting. I just hate turrets, but I'm biased. But he does actually look pretty interesting. So he basically has so his passive is gonna be an on hit slow that puts oil on you to simplify it, and then that's called what is that? Slick, and it stacks up to 5 times, applying 2% per stack, up to 3 seconds. And basically, any ability that requires flame will light them and set them on fire and do increased damage. So I think this is going to be interesting to see Prophecy with him. Not Prophecy, Magnify. But Magnify got changed, so we'll see what's going to happen with that. Still a pretty good item, but he's not going to get the magic, not necessarily penetration, but what is it called? Basically magic shred. So he's not going to be able to apply it to everybody. So if there's more AP users or magic power users, then they'd be able to, get the stacks off it and get the stacks really well. So he's allowed 3 flame turrets. This basically seems exactly like how he was before. Got the oil spill, so he has a slow as well as a way to add more slick, and you can light up that oil spill with your Molotov, which is your next ability, or your turrets, I believe. Um, and then the Inferno isn't like Blaze, which makes everything freaking cracked. It's a flamethrower. So Scorch will unleash a cone of fire, the flamethrower, and if you can reactivate it at the end of the duration, or you reactivate it and you'll belch. I assume is just throwing up and then dealing magic damage, and it pushes you back. So kind of like or pushes enemies back, kind of like a Drongo alt. You probably won't move. Um, so it's not bad for escape. So content-wise, we're getting the Winterfest event. You play games, you earn XP to get 5 new profile icons, 2 new sprays, a new banner, and then a Fang Mao skin. Yuletide Fang Mao. And the sprays are something new, actually, which we'll be seeing later. Store update, we're getting the Kalari skin, which we already got it. I don't know if it's free. But you get the Kalari skin, the Iggy Christmas skin, the Richter Christmas skin, which I dislike that because now we're gonna see more Richters, and then the new first legendary skin from Omega, with new VFX profile, new themed audio. I don't know if we're getting voiceover. I wonder if what we're gonna see from him. I mean, this is gonna be interesting. I think this is the first time we're gonna see their own actual good high level skin. So that's gonna be interesting. Once again, though, I don't like it because Revenant is a little too easy to use in my opinion. It does too much damage. But we'll see. We'll see. Then they're releasing some new bundles, mega bundles. This is just to buy in store for skins and whatnot. Probably a little bit of a sale. And then we're getting the Fireball Iggy Scorch. Here's a spray. So basically you're able to put sprays down on the map, kind of like CSGO. Unfortunately no NSFW like CSGO. Maybe it's a good thing. So that'll be kind of nice. I like to see some more. It looks like they're taking the ones from the Discord, but hey, they're still good. I wonder if we can get one for each character. What kinds? I hope we get some more toxic ones, right? Getting controller improvements for the console release. That's pretty exciting. It's just gonna be, they have their default layouts. They have some turn acceleration, so acceleration strength and acceleration delay. PlayStation exclusive features, the light bar. I think that's the thing on the actual controller, right? It has its own color on the controller light bar. All right, so that's interesting. Adaptive triggers will now have the option of playing with their R2 trigger in adaptive mode. This will make every hero basic attack feel unique. Gun the trigger will have a unique trigger weight and pull. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I don't know competitively, but okay. I wonder how it's gonna be with a Sparrow bow compared to a gun. Advanced haptics, so DualSense players will have the option of playing advanced haptics. This uses the two haptic motors and a DualSense controller to replicate the feeling of casting each ability directly in your hands. All right, some more immersion. Hero unlock stage adjustments. So for new people that are coming in, it's a contract system. So you have to play, you have to earn so much XP to unlock pieces of the contract. Let's say the new hero has 5 pieces of the contract. Every patch or big patch, they're going to reduce it for the heroes that are older, right? So Shinbi now requires 2. So wait, she previously required 1. Oh, so they actually made it harder to get Shinbi. Mortgage now requires 1, and they from 2. So for example, I guess they're changing it as they see fit now. Kalari now requires 4. That's kind of interesting when they're doing that type of stuff. Why is Kalari? Isn't Kalari kind of old hero? Whatever. So they're just gonna play around with that. They're not planning on XP. We'll see. I mean, this is what this whole testing is gonna be. I don't like the contract system personally, but we'll go on. Play together and win. More referrals, more rewards. So tell your friends about the closed beta. Sign up for it, even if you don't need it. Give the key out publicly to other people. That's honestly what I did. I'm number 35,000. So we're getting new items. Super interesting. Further detail we'll get in the bottom. Getting ability buffering improvements. It's a lot of words. I don't necessarily want to go through it just because like it's gonna be different in the game. Like I think what they said about ability buffering initially is different than what they actually have done and the bugs that are involved. But the last ability you attempted to use while buffering will now be the ability that is actually used. But they also have like they're no longer remembered forever. So then I'm also confused by that. We're just gonna wait and see. But we are getting ability buffering improvements. PlayStation closed beta access, that's coming up. December 5th it starts, ends January 5th. And then don't forget, Epic Games is giving free Predecessor from December 7th to December 14th. You get it forever. So everyone should get it. You get, you're basically getting a Smurf account or a side account or an alternate account, whatever you want to call it. So other improvements, new player XP boost has been adjusted. Reduce the boost at early levels to spread it out at later levels. Okay. I don't know. I feel like I don't know why they spent time on that. Improvement has been made to the visuals of the active heroes and hero collection. Something new notification will appear when you have rewards to be collected on Infinity. That's kind of nice. Buy skin button and price is now visible in the store when you don't own a hero. Honestly, I'm gonna kind of ignore this stuff because this kind of feels like nothing that important. I feel like people are here for the hero changes and whatnot, right? Let me know in the comments what you guys want to focus on. Hero changes. So here I discussed Crunch is getting a little bit of a healing nerf. I think it's he's getting like 30% cut. That's gonna be a big deal. I like that. I still don't think it really changes too much of his, his actual kit itself. But we do need a healing nerf from him. I think he heals a bit too much, and we are getting that. So no longer heals off towers, which is kind of interesting. So I don't. Now that's probably why I noticed why he might have a little bit more HP. Fang Mao is getting a buff into 10% buff to shield bonus on physical power scaling. That's gonna actually make him pretty deadly because I think he's already pretty deadly. Getting a nerf, which is I don't know. I like it. Actually, it's probably gonna make it where now Gideon is gonna have to E on the ground to get the slow. So we'll see what happens. I think this will be a nice, interesting change. We'll see. Might get rid of a little bit of skill expression, but that skill expression is pretty basic anyway. Chimera getting a nerf, very needed. I think the leap was a bit ridiculous. In the way that he tracks you, and he's getting a nerf from the regen, so or getting the stacks to increase his regen, which honestly is good too. Because he got when he late game and in general when he got his stacks or when he got his um when he uses ambush, I mean, that's the first ability you use is going to be instantly on cooldown, and he can easily chase you to use the ambush again. Hey, getting another 5 regen stacks is a pretty big deal. So that's nice. Narbash getting just a bug fix on item actives on ability use on his ultimate. I haven't really seen too much of an issue with it because I don't think he really builds anything that's going to put too much actives on. So off lane Narbash gone now, off meta. Twin Blast, the delay on the explosion. I assume that's what that is, which is really nice because I was always confused by that damn box. I'd literally dodge it, come back in, and I get damaged. I'm like, didn't I just dodge the explosion? So that's actually good. Sometimes people might find that annoying. So maybe this is will make people, I kind of left it on balanced in terms of the buffs and nerfs. Wraith, my baby boy, is getting buffed. I'm super excited. I'm sorry, guys. It's gonna be a problem for y'all, but you know how it is. They gotta let y'all get some benefits, reap some benefits. So here we're gonna get into some item changes. I'm gonna ignore that right now and just go straight down to the bottom on minion changes real quick. So there are gonna be some minion changes in terms of the execution mainly. To simplify it, getting farm should be easier now. You're talking about like 40%, like 30% change or increase on execution. That's a pretty big deal. I know I missed the executions by a little bit, on tower and whatnot. It's going to be huge, especially for the melee minions. I mean, even the range minions. So the execution range got increased for you, and the damage taken from towers will also be decreased, but it should stay the same. So every single range minion, 1 tower hit, and you can basically attack it. Melee minions, 3 tower hits and it's dead. So everything does stay the same, but it makes it easier to execute. I am fond of it, but I still dislike the 25 or 20%, 25% bonus that you get from just being next to minions. So if you miss the farm, but you're right there, you still get 25% of the gold. That should be removed if you're going to implement that. But we'll see. Structure changes, reduced damage that core is going to do to players, which I think is actually needed. I think it's very stupid to have core do damage to you when there are minions. So I think this is just overall the 100 to 80% damage decreased from 380 to 300 to 360. That's kind of interesting from 1 to 18. So I mean, how level 1, you might be there at level 14, right? So you're probably looking at a slight decrease. At least it scales, whatever. Instead of just straight 380s, but who's gonna be there level 10 at core? Low chance. And if you're there, you probably don't even care about this. You're probably so dang fed or whatnot. So, all right. So now we can go back and talk about the items. Even the items, I don't necessarily want to stay too long on because the items are just you're not really gonna be able to tell. Oh, sorry. you're not gonna be able to tell like too much about it until you actually get in the game. Like it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of things. I'm not that advanced. I'm not that smart on this type of stuff, but we'll kind of discuss it a little bit. Tranquility, that's getting damage mitigation. Duration has been decreased. So that's gonna be nice. In terms of, I mean, it has a low cooldown, so I'm glad that we're gonna see less mitigation duration because I think it does enough already. It heals a ton. Spell Slasher, huge. This is like probably the biggest buff in this entire patch right now. Anything that applies Spell Slasher will allow you to now apply it to towers. So now towers take increased damage. The duration is decreased. Um, I mean, it's gonna be pretty monstrous. So now we're gonna see a lot more split pushers possibly. Shinbi is gonna be a god. This is gonna be wild. And I mean, the duration was decreased, right? I assume that's the from when you proc it, but I mean, you should be already hitting them. That's not going to be too much of an issue. Augmentation is going to be just a monster, I think, right now. I probably see Fang Mao's running it at this point. Chaotic Core is one of the new things coming in to help, like, it's basically to help out build other items, right? We're not going to go too much in depth. In depth, Divine Race just getting a small, once again, all these items are getting changes in terms of the recipe. It is cheaper. That's going to be pretty strong early game. You're going to be able to get that a lot sooner. So for Narbash, heals, Wellspring, it's going to be pretty nice. Yeah, Augmentation getting the same buff as before. Bone Saw is supposed to be easier to get now. Dreambinder should also be easier to get. Lifebinder, same thing. Magnify is getting the change. I thought it was fine, but we were just waiting for Iggy in reality. But no, they got rid of the shred and they just kind of made it where you land 3 basics, it empowers your next ability within 3 seconds. So I don't know if this. So yeah, it's not going to stack off a spell slash. I don't know if it's going to be used on towers. But I mean, it's still gonna be pretty good. I think this might be an item on Iggy just due to his overall basics that he does use. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see. Reduced attack speed, but it's still pretty monstrous. It'll be good for Iggy. I still think it'll be pretty strong. Mega Cosm getting a nerf, which is honestly it is needed. To a point, I feel like the percent HP could be increased personally, and then just reduce the damage of the burn percent and this stuff. But I'm biased. Oathkeeper getting the change. I don't know if it applies to towers too. I assume so, but I kind of wish they just spent the time telling us, all that stuff. Same changes, but I don't know. I kind of wish they just told us because I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to use this on tower. I assume so. Prophecy getting a cooldown reduction. Wellspring, it's that build path change. Elefrost is getting a change, so it's no more stacking damage to get stuns, right? Now it's kind of interesting. So it's physical based, but it applies magical damage on hit. So I'm curious who can really build this well, because it basically will just make people that do physical power now they can do magic damage in case that there's a lot of AD. And it is a pretty tanky item. You get good reduction. The slow got nerfed. I don't think you get the stun anymore. But it's interesting. I mean, oh, and yes, frostblade damage also applies to towers. Okay, this will be an interesting item. This can change some things up, but I mean, it's still kind of confusing to me. I don't know. We'll see how it's implemented in the meta. Teutonic Mallet getting reduction in percent damage, which is I think is worthwhile. But you don't see it really built on anybody but Fang. Maybe Zarus with a speed bonus. Tainted Bastion getting a nerf on the mitigation. That's fine with that. I think mitigation is a bit overpowered as it, cancels out a lot of damage. Although it's not too much. Citadel getting a recipe change. Stone of Strength is a new item for tier 2s. Not going to go too much in depth with it. Onyxian Quiver. That's the one that RG Sauce showed up. And it's it looks pretty interesting. I'm curious that it can be used on AD and melee heroes. I don't think it's very worth on melee heroes because it's not like percent HP like what we get with what's it called? Like we get with Sky Splitter, but we are getting crit. So I think 10% more attack speed. I mean, we'll see. I don't know. It's gonna be kind of interesting. It makes you tanky. You get mitigation off of it, and you get more attack speed. But we'll see. We'll see how that's gonna be implemented. Don't know if Grux is gonna use it too well. What other? That's kind of it in terms of the W key offlaners. Stormbreaker is getting a small rework. So basically, killing an enemy unit increases the damage of chain zap by 1 up to a maximum of 200. That's going to be kind of interesting. It still doesn't really give you crit, so I don't know how well it's going to be used, but this is still going to, I mean, this buffs Twin and Blast indirectly, nonetheless, or any on-hit person. I mean, you should be farming, so should be, guaranteed increased damage scaling. Um, so yeah. Echelon Cloak. So this is actually, I don't like this at all. I hate, you guys know me, I hate Invis. And we're getting an Invis item. It's basically like Teemo from League of Legends. You stand still, you go Invis, and you also heal during it. 2% of your missing HP. So, I mean, if you're really low, it can help you out. I don't know who's going to benefit a lot off of this. It's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see how often it could be built. It's like one of those weird things. You get a lot of stuff off of it, but it's also kind of weird. Attack speed, health, haste, physical power. It's a weird item overall. So I'm curious to see who's gonna build it. I hate invis. I hate any camouflage, but we'll see what happens. Envy. So actually, a lot of these I haven't actually even went through. So these are from like this point on, I haven't really seen too much of them. So this one I did see, I think. So new assassin option, guaranteed crit off of a dash, leap, or ability, or exiting a camouflage for 3 seconds. Critical strikes empower your abilities for the next 3 seconds to deal 10% bonus physical damage. That's really interesting. I'm kind of excited to see what's gonna happen right now. This is like it's gonna be basic attacks, so whoever can benefit off of that, Fang Mao can, and then it's gonna empower your abilities like by 10% physical damage. It's gonna be an interesting item. Fang Mao, Zars could do pretty good with it. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a cool item. Berserker's Axe, a strong choice for any would-be ganker that wants to move around the map quickly and keep up pressure. So upon dashing or leaping with an ability, your next basic attack within 3 seconds will deal 50, then plus 7% bonus HP, physical damage, and slow by 50%. So this is going to be interesting for ganks. Don't think it's going to be something for Fang, but probably a Zara's thing. Oh, passing through a fog wall grants you 20% bonus movement speed. That's going to be kind of, that's going to be really good for gankers that, I'd say shouldn't be, but has physical power, right? It comes with movement speed though. It's gonna be an interesting item. I don't know who's really gonna succeed too well building it though. Bone Seeker, keeping a theme at Bonesaw. Bone Seeker provides own unit with a hefty chunk of attack speed and durability while also making them better at single target focusing and dueling. Basic attacks against enemy heroes, mark them as your target and increase your damage dealt by 2% for 4 seconds. Additional basic stack up to 10. Oh my god. This is gonna be a monster. Okay. Get ready. I don't know if this is gonna replace this kind of feels weird. I guess you're building bone saw for the movement for the attack speed, or was it movement speed? This is just gonna be straight damage. You could probably build both of these. Oh, here you go, movement speed. That's gonna be interesting. One's attack speed, right? And then this is gonna be just straight damage. We'll see what happens. With enough CC in the game, I think Bone Seeker will be king. Alright guys, I'm gonna skip some of these items because honestly I'm kind of just confused by them, and I'd rather see them in the game and then decide on them. I'm just confused in terms of like what they mean, what they say. Are they crests? Are they passives? I'm confused. So we're just gonna kind of ignore some of these items. We'll discuss the ones that are currently in the game that did get changes. So Tainted Totem got a rework. Um, Totem has been re-geared. Don't worry, still a blight option, but we refocused it to better suit enchanters, now loading its wielder to grant blight to their allies too. So Blighted Touch, it doesn't seem like there's any change in the actual items. So dealing damage to enemy heroes reduces their healing. So any type of damage. Healing and shielding allies grants them effects of Blighted Touch. Dealing damage reduces their healing. Healing and shielding grants them the effects of Blighted Touch. So they can apply it? I don't know what that means. Giant Rings is new. Like I said, I'm just gonna ignore these type of things. Warden's Faith. Um, this one is it's been missing something, and now you're gonna have the ability to reduce physical power by 6%. That can be a pretty big deal stacked on with the critical changes, and I forgot the other thing is that they had basic attacks received from enemies decrease current basic cooldowns by 0.2. So that's a new passive going on top of it. Mocking Presence. No, they are getting rid of Retribution. I don't see it being that crazy. That would make you spam abilities more. This makes you tankier. Oh, we'll see. I think we'll see how the implementation is. And we already discussed the minion changes and the structures. So next up is going to be the bug fixes. So fair warning, I'm literally just going to read them all out. So after this, I'll just be another video that I did in the past that just literally reads out all the bug fixes. And then I'll give out, yeah, well, it'll be after I'll add my conclusion into the patch, and then it'll be the bug fix list. All right, so my overall conclusion on the patch is that I think this patch is kind of interesting. Not necessarily, I don't know, like there's a lot, but then there's not a lot in a way. I'm not big on Iggy and Scorch. That's our big mid lane change, and we had an adjustment to Mega Cosm got changed. Gideon got the one nerf slash bug fixed, but overall bid should stay the same as I am a mid laner main. Um, I am excited to see console. I am super excited to see console, to be honest. I'm super excited to see Epic Games going for free. I think the game's in a playable state to start actually going free to play slash adding people into the game. And it's $8. I'm not gonna get mad because, people are getting it for free or anything like that. I'm ready for it. The skins look interesting. I'm excited to see this skin. Hopefully it's worth it. Um, the sprays are super cool. I hope they make them a little bit more toxic. I mean, friendly. Controller improvements. I don't necessarily know too much about them. I hope that helps the controller players out a lot. At the same time, I don't want them to get you guys given some aimbot. But yeah, I am curious about the acceleration because that's going to be kind of interesting. I know that, so they said in the main menu, hopefully in game, so settings added to the menu. So hopefully this stuff helps out when people flash behind you, because us PC players, we're lightning fast. We're 200 IQ. Now you console players, some of you are freaking wild. I've seen some of y'all play. It's insane. I'm impressed how you play so well on a controller. Um, in terms of the new items, I did read them, but they were just very confusing to me to know like crest, how they apply. I think it'd be better in another video. I don't think I'm gonna work on that, but they're just kind of weird. I'm excited to see the ability buffering, but I'm also worried. So I can't make too much. You can write stuff on paper, but until you have to test it in the game. I mentioned I was excited for the beta. Um, the other improvements, it just kind of didn't necessarily seem like anything. It just like the bug list, it just seemed like a ton of like SFX, some just small bugs changes. I don't worry too much about these type of improvements personally. It just seems like these are just main menu type stuff. I like to care about the game mostly. Hero changes looked interesting. I still will like changes on Richter personally. I think he's way too bloated on his kit, so we didn't get to see that. It was nice to see Chimera get a little bit of a change on the ambush though. I'd still like to see some sort of changes and adjustments to the whole chasing potential that people have. Why melee have like what 10-15% movement speed? I think 10% reduction when they basic, but they can output so much damage while ranged gets really affected by a lot of casting skills when they get like 25, 30% or something like that. And I don't know, I want to see more of a balance on that. Um I'm super excited for this Wraith. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. As a Wraith main, honestly, at this point, I enjoy Wraith too much. I might as well be a Wraith main. Um, But yeah, I mean, there's not necessarily too much I would say that's like straight up in-game content, changes to the map or anything like that. So we did get the minion changes down here and the structure. So, but I think this will be. I need to see how it is. I can only say so much. This is gonna help me. I'm garbage at farm. This is gonna help me. I'm excited for it. But at the same time, I know my team. I'm sure the enemy's not doing that great too. So I'm like, dang, I don't want to give my enemy a chance. I want, even though I get a chance, no, I can punish them through my play style. If they're gonna have an easier time farming, maybe they're gonna start beating me now. That's all I can say. But yeah, I mean, it's a patch, and I don't have any hate plus or minus. It has to be implemented in the game. I can't make an opinion without being in the game on this. In reality, it's a lot of changes that are in game, and the numbers in the paper say something, but hey, they can be different when they're in game. But that's it. So bug list is gonna come after this. But other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how it was in the comments. Do you want things like this, or this is boring as hell? Do I just freaking stop doing this? It's a lot of work, and at times I do feel like it's not as useful. I don't know who the heck is staying till the very end, and I appreciate that, but just let me know what you think about this. If there's ways I can make it faster, things I should focus on. Do I just share my conclusions? Do I show the screen, my opinion, and close it? Because it is a lot of stuff, and I am not the best person to go through all these numbers. But yeah, let me know how it is. I stream on Twitch and YouTube almost daily, but pretty much daily at 6 Eastern. And I try to upload whenever I can, tips, all that stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed and enjoy the bug list if you're staying. Otherwise, I leave because it's just me rambling about SFX changes. All right, peace. So bug fixes. Fixed a bug where the phase wings SFX would still play upon dying. Fixed a bug where Silentium would not play SFX for the user correctly. Fixed a bug where Morgish and Twin Blast would stop playing certain impact ability VFX in-game. Fixed a bug where Rampage could hear Chain SFX on his Obsidian skin. Fixed a bug where Purchase Sell SFX in the in-game shop would not play correctly. Fixed a bug where SFX would not play correctly around towers. Fixed a bug where Sky Splitter would not display Ren damage correctly in Death Recap. Fixed a bug where AI heroes could get stuck in a short ping-pong pathing loop. Fixed a bug where Seraph could be pulled out of her Heaven's Fury by the Phase Flytrap ability. Fixed a bug where Revenant's Chrono Boss skin would have its coat rolled up on load-in. Fixed a bug where Dawn base would have incorrect water textures on the floor. Fixed a bug where notifications would not always show for friends going offline. Fixed a bug where Chimera would not gain bonus physical power from his passive interacting with Tectonic Mallet. Fixed a bug where Twin Blast Grande Vortex Grande would deal delayed damage to its explosion. Fixed a bug where Sevrog's shoulders would not show their upgraded state in the post-match cinematic. Fixed a bug where Wraith would create too much water splash when turning in water. Fixed a bug where Blink would sometimes be unusable in tutorial, resulting in a soft lock. Fixed a bug where blocking user in your party could not remove them from your party. Fixed a bug where Twin Blast abilities were incorrectly labeled in draft. Fixed a bug where Decker's wrist would bend unnaturally in her single lady's emote. Fixed a bug where Muriel's Mastery skin would have an incorrect material on her chest. Fixed a bug where the waterfall VFX in practice mode would not render correctly. Fixed a bug where holes could be seen around the red buff camp terrain. Fixed a bug where basic attacks would play their missed VFX at the wrong location. Fixed a bug where Gideon's Void Breach portal VFX would overly block the camera. Fixed a bug where Kira's Mercy Be Gone voice line would play unclearly. Fixed a bug where main menu social notifications could get stuck on screen after a new party leader was chosen. Fixed a bug where owned banners would not show at the top of the banners list. Fixed a bug where SFX would not play correctly for Fang Mao's emotes. Fixed a bug where main menu social notifications would not display a timer. Fixed a bug where Decker's Ion Strike SFX would play twice on use. Fixed a bug where Kalari would fall from the map when using Guillotine into Decker's containment fence. Fixed a bug where the background colors in the Dawn side post-match cinematic would not display correctly. Fix a bug where Shinbi's Lion Temple wolves would not wrap around towers. Fix a bug where Revenant's Reckoning projectile was missing a material. Fix a bug where Adept and Master Recall VFX would show through camouflage. Fix a bug where friend requests sent while a match is ongoing would cause both players to appear as offline to each other. Fixed a bug where Hero Idol SFX would play in the main menu. Fixed a bug where Kira's Mercy ability would not play a different SFX on hit/miss. Fix a bug where the store would stop show content when navigating between heroes and store tabs. Fix a bug where the core's protective rings would not disappear on inhibitor's death in replay mode. Fix a bug where Mortgage's Swarm Impact SFX would not play when hitting multiple units. Fix a bug where Countess's Event Tide ability would not play its targeting SFX correctly. Fix a bug where Richter would not play his respawn SFX correctly. Fix a bug when Decker would not be rooted when using rocket boots at the same time as a root occurring. Fix a bug where Jump SFX would not play when input repeatedly. Fixed a bug where the incorrect category would be shown in store tabs when all items are owned. Fixed a bug where mid lane terrain would display holes in low graphic settings. Fixed a bug where core's damage effects would appear too large. Fixed a bug where Richter would not play SFX when targeting with a skewer. Fixed a bug when Omen was not named correctly in Death Recap. Fixed a bug where Crunch's raised fist emote played in the incorrect voice line. Fixed a bug where Drongo's boomerang would be blocked by an ally steal's force shield. Fixed a bug where Hero Affinity would display a white icon when unlocked. Fixed a bug where the invite prompt would stop working in the party menu. Holy moly. Let me know if you guys want me to do that at the end of every video. God. Why so many? Fix the bugs. Sheesh.